I feel like the big three gig economy companies need a fourth competitor. And it's not necessarily to be a competitor, it's someone to reset the standard of what gig economy deliveries should have been in the first place. It should have been a luxury service at a luxury price where not every customer gets the right to order it. Because if you want good service now, you have to pay for it. People are expecting a Mercedes service at a Kia price. That's not how it works. These drivers have to do a lot of things, even more than even UPS drivers. UPS drivers and FedEx drivers, they basically have, even though they do a whole lot of work, same with Amazon drivers, they do a whole lot of work, but they're all doing the same thing. Gig economy drivers, they have to shop. They have to go into these restaurants. They have to wait for your orders. And then you make changes in the middle of the order. We also have to be the best drivers in the world. You know, if you want the best, you have to pay like the best. I mean, if you look at what it costs to deliver an average package from UPS, it's way more than what a DoorDasher makes doing a delivery. No one wants to hear the ugly truth. They do a lot of work. You know, you want a $50 service on a $5 budget, and that ain't going to work. You want better drivers, you want better service. You got to set a better standard. And that means customer has to pay more. In fact, there needs to be a whole reset to how this is all done. I think restaurants need to have less commissions put on them. I think drivers need to be paid more. And the whole system needs to be changed. You need to do like what restaurants do already. Like everybody that does retail shopping businesses, they all do it where they put all of the expenses, including the labor, into the price of the order and then add profit on top of that. That is a sustainable business. If you look at DoorDash and Uber Eats and GrubHub, they're not sustainable. They are working on razor thin margins. If you look at any of those three, they make less than $1 a delivery. In fact, they make less than 50 cents per delivery. So they can't even increase base pay even if they wanted to. Because if they raise base pay, then they have to turn around and add that to customer fees. And then there's going to be a percentage of people that are not going to order anymore. That's probably what it should have been done in the first place. I mean, you've been kind of getting away with this for too long. I mean, for 11 years. I mean, this is why Postmates went down. This is why Caviar merged with DoorDash. This is why Postmates ended up having to merge with Uber Eats or Uber or whatever it is. Because none of them could make a profit because they couldn't charge enough. Because they give customers incentives all the time. They're trying to give drivers for all these platforms incentives, like through flash offers or bribes in some cases. I mean, I had one the other day asking for me to stay on an order that I've been waiting for 12 minutes that wasn't ready. And they were offering $2 more for me to stay, which wasn't enough because you're guessing as to whether that place is going to be ready to go to make that $2 extra worth it, which it wouldn't have been. So what do you want from your gig economy delivery company? What do you want from DoorDash? What do you want from Uber Eats? What do you want from GrubHub? What do you want from Amazon? What do you want from Shipt? I mean, what do you want from these companies? If you want good service by good drivers that know what they're doing, you got to pay for it. If you are getting work done on your car and you want the best mechanic to work on your car, they're not going to do it for a discount. They need to be paid appropriate to the amount of experience that they have. And this goes for every facet. If you're going to the best surgeon to get work done on you, do you want a surgeon that takes a discount? That's not the kind of surgeon you want. You want a surgeon that you have to pay real money to get real good results. Why do we not expect more from the drivers that serve us as customers? I mean, I look at stuff through the eyes of the customer all the time. I am amazed at what people are willing to accept. You accept this crappy service at a discount. Why? I mean, don't you want better service? The problem is that the people that get better service, and look at anybody that has money, that has expendable income, and they go to nicer hotels, or they go on nice vacations, or they go to nicer restaurants, or they have nicer cars. Why do they have these things? Because they're willing to pay the extra to have them. Why do people pay more for Hondas and Toyotas? Because they are better cars. People are willing to pay a premium for those cars. But hey, you know what? If you're willing to accept crappy service, then I guess you can get it for a crappy price. But your drivers aren't going to make anything. And eventually those drivers are going to leave. Because these companies can't raise the base pay. They don't make enough money per delivery to do that. Their expenses are too high. And they're spending more money on research, to do these, to do this autonomous stuff, to do the robots, to do the partnerships, and they're offering these incentives to drivers to basically buy time. They are buying time in hopes that maybe at some point they can, pay for these robots. But it's a sinking ship. Eventually, this is going to go sideways. And this is why you need a new standard bearer. You need a new company to come in and say, hey, look, we're going to pay people the right way. Customers are going to have to pay real money to get a real service. Customers are not going to like it. I mean, no one likes having to pay more. But it's like anything. If you want better quality produce, or you want look at all the stuff in the grocery store. Look at all this grass-fed stuff, from meat to dairy. You want this specialty produce. It all costs, they're expensive. They're all expensive. I mean, I shop for people for a living. I see how expensive all this, or they're willing to pay $5 for a 4-ounce thing of blueberries that comes from Japan. I mean, I see this stuff all the time. So you can't tell me that people aren't willing to pay for it. If you want something better, you have to pay better. And maybe if the right person with deep pockets that offers some sort of ethical capital and understands all of this stuff. These people that have real money, they deal with this stuff on a regular basis. They go out, and get, they go to a nice hotel. What are they paying? They're not paying $100 or $200. They're probably paying $600 or $700 or $800 a night. If they're going to a restaurant, they're not getting the $20 steak. They're getting a $90 ribeye. Why? Because it's done in a different way that makes it the best for the price. But you know what? It is up to you, the customers, to decide what kind of service you want. Do you want better service? If you want better service, you're not going to be able to get away with getting it at a low price. You can't. Because all you're going to get is desperate drivers that don't make any money on the orders. You want drivers that care about their job. You want people that know how to do things the right way, that they're experienced, knowledgeable, they have ethics, that they care about doing their job. But to do that, you have to pay them. Do you want a discount electrician? Do you want a discount plumber? Do you want a discount contractor? Do you want any of this stuff? This is not what you should want. This is not what you should want as a society. This should be the antithesis of what we want. But I would love to know. I would love to know what you're willing to settle for, because it's obvious, and I see it every day. I look on Reddit forums and I see what kind of offers these drivers are getting. I mean, and it's a pittance. You might as well just be throwing change at your drivers and say, do my work. I mean, that's what it comes down to. I mean, when you're getting offers to do 7 or 8 miles worth of work for $2, and this is a real thing. This is a real offer. I could probably put 20 or 30 or 40 offers up there. and you expect them to put 7 miles worth of gas into their vehicle and wear and tear on their vehicle and their labor. Is their labor not worth more than $2 for 20 minutes? And that doesn't even cover their expenses. You're probably talking about 40 to 45 cents per mile just for car expenses, for insurance, to cover maintenance and auto repair on their vehicles. And you're willing to pay them 28 cents a mile. I don't settle for that. It's why I cherry pick my offers. I have to, because no one's going to watch out for me. I know my value. I've been doing deliveries for a long time. I've been doing deliveries for 30 years. I've been doing gig economy deliveries for the last 12. I know what my time is worth. I know what my experience is worth. I can find 90 to 95% of the places within probably a mile of the destination without a GPS. How many of your drivers could do that? I carry delivery bags into restaurants. I carry pizza bags into pizza places when I do deliveries, because that is the standard for me. I can't care about what somebody else's standard is. That's my standard. And that's why I cherry pick, because my standards are, I do this, I can do this. This is my level of experience. So this is the very least I should be able to make. And this is why I feel so strongly about that there needs to be somebody else to come in, a fourth competitor that resets the standard. So these companies that are Doordash or GrubHub or Uber Eats that make billions of dollars get the picture and do things differently. They don't set the maximum price that you think the customer will pay, because you're just, working down to the bottom feeders. You are working your way to the bottom. And this is why none of them make the kind of profits that they should make. UPS makes $1.8 billion a quarter because they do it the same way that all these other retail and restaurant places do it. They put all of the stuff into one pot, all the expenses, including labor, proper labor prices. And that then sets the profit above that. That makes it a sustainable business. If DoorDash, GrubHub, Uber Eats doesn't do that, they're going to go away too. Eventually, they're going to go away. Or at the very least, the drivers are going to go away, and then DoorDash won't have anybody to do their deliveries. Even with autonomous robots, which will only be able, at its peak, probably service about 10% of the customers with the Waymo partnerships, all of this. It's not enough to cover all of the deliveries that need to be done. DoorDash alone did 776 million deliveries in quarter 3 of 2025 from, I believe that's June to September. 776 million deliveries. Do you think robots are going to cover all of that? But you need a standard. You need a better standard. If you are those three companies, you need a better standard of how to do deliveries. And it's going to hurt, because when you raise your prices that first time, it's going to hurt. It's going to be like ripping the Band-Aid off, and it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt for a while. It's going to hurt for a couple of years. But that's where the standard should be. It should be better service, better experience, but it's going to cost more money. But what do you want as a customer? Because you can't have it both ways. You want the low price service, you're going to get low price service. What does that mean? You're going to get drivers that are inexperienced. You're going to get people that don't care about your stuff. You should have ethical standards. But that's up to you, customer. It's what do you want? You want that great service? Great. You got to pay for it. You want that nice massage from an expert masseuse? You got to pay for it. You don't get to get away with not paying for it. That nice sports car you're driving, how much does it cost to maintain that? Don't think that you can just get away with having nice stuff and not have to pay for it. You want that nice pool in the backyard? Who's going to maintain it? How much is it going to cost to maintain it? Do you want some discount pool guy? But you have to ask yourself, what standards do you want? If you want better standards, you got to pay for better standards. I mean, I see these offers too. It's not just the stuff I see on Reddit. I see it myself. I've had days where I've only taken 14 orders and turned down 28 because they were so bad, because that I felt like I set a standard, so my price should also be the standard. So I guess just think about that. We need another company to come in and redo this, because they need DoorDash, GrubHub, Uber Eats, and all these companies. They need a reset. They need a reset. You need to charge what is appropriate for the job, not set a maximum price that you think a customer will pay. It's two different numbers. I mean, I know these companies do all this analysis. They say, well, this is what we can, and that's why they cast a wide net in the beginning. They're trying to get all the customers in the beginning. And then as they raise the price and raise the price and raise the price, they're losing customers. But the problem is that they get afraid. They get afraid. And then they just set a maximum as to what they will charge the customer. And then everybody else gets screwed. It's either you're going to get worse service, you're going to get higher. If you're a restaurant, you're getting higher commissions from the company you're working with, and you're going to pay your drivers less. What does that mean? You're going to lose drivers. And it's not necessarily that you're going to lose them completely, but they're going to cut their hours way back. They're going to find something else to do. They're going to try something else, because no one wants to make $6 an hour, and no one can live on it, because it costs more than that to run the car. But again, it's all up to you. What are your standards as a customer? What are your standards? What do you want your standards to be for the people that take care of you, for every part of what you do? Your dentist, your doctor, the people that work on your car, the people that take care of your house, the people that provide power to your home or apartment, the plumbers that make sure that your showers are working okay. What kind of service do you expect from them, and what do you expect to pay for that? It shouldn't be any different than what you should expect from your drivers. But it's a shame that drivers are kind of seen as a non-important service, because that's how we get paid. That's how a lot of these drivers get paid. They get they get paid like they're non-important. Customers see a discount. I see it as someone who doesn't value our time. So I'm waiting and hoping that someone else will come in and show these other companies how to do business, because it sure isn't the way that it's being done now.